Where your treasure is, there will your heart be also. God has given us unlimited treasures in His Word. Every time we open it, we can discover a new treasure or admire an old one. What will we find today? Here's Carla Early with Treasure Hunt in the Word.
When I was a kid, we had a mouse in the ceiling of our basement. If I was quiet, I could hear the pitter-patter of the little mouse feet on the ceiling tiles. But for the longest time, we couldn't catch it. We put the gerbil's favorite treat into the trap, but that mouse had the incredible knack of taking the bait without getting caught in the trap that would kill him. Oh, how it would make my dad mad when he checked the trap and the bait was gone. He'd been outsmarted by an animal with the brain the size of a pea. We finally got him by supergluing a sunflower seed to the trap. But that was one smart little mouse. I'm sure that's how the Pharisees felt sometimes. They kept trying to trap Jesus, but he kept outsmarting them. These scholars and teachers of the law were going up against a man they considered to be an uneducated country bumpkin with a Galilean accent who came from Nazareth. And everyone knows nothing good comes out of Nazareth. But oh, how they underestimated him. We find one of their humiliating moments in John 8 when they interrupted Jesus' teaching in the temple by charging in and dumping what was probably a half-naked prostitute in front of him, saying, "We caught her in the very act of adultery. Moses said to stone her. What do you say, teacher?" This was so obviously a setup. Early morning, they knew where to find her. And where was the man? They should have brought him for stoning too, according to the law. But he was probably paid to set the whole thing up. But the way the scribes and Pharisees did it, they tried to make themselves look good, zealous for the law, abhorring this abomination done in their midst, when they were the ones who'd planned it out and coordinated the whole thing to make Jesus look bad. They flung the woman in front of Jesus, issued their challenge, and stood back, smug in their confidence that they had set the perfect trap. If Jesus went with the law of Moses, he would have to say, "Stone her," because that's what it prescribed. But that would be going against his mercy and compassion. He was known as a friend of sinners, and declared that he had come to seek and save the lost, which this woman surely was. Besides, stoning her was against the Roman law at that time. Jews weren't allowed to give someone a death sentence. But if Jesus said, "Don't stone her," he'd be going into contempt of the Mosaic law and essentially condoning her sin. So the Pharisees could discredit him in the eyes of the people. They thought they were in control of this situation and had the upper hand. But little did they know. Jesus, knowing their hearts, couldn't be fooled. How did he respond? We'll talk more about that tomorrow, but first he responded with silence, writing on the ground. Then he made one statement, then silence again, like he was ignoring the whole situation. Sometimes people try to trap us, just like they did Jesus. How can we learn from Jesus' response? For one thing, when faced with a trap, Jesus didn't respond right away. Pausing, even for a moment, gives us time to pray. James 1:5 reminds us if you need wisdom, ask God and he will give it to you. And if there's ever a time we need wisdom, it's when Satan is trying to trap us. With God's wisdom, he can turn your no-win situation into a major victory, just like he did in this passage. Also, Jesus said only what the Father put in his heart to say. He could have lectured those Pharisees on their hypocrisy and rebuked them, but he said one simple thing that got to the heart of the issue, their hearts, and let the Holy Spirit convict each of his attackers. I know sometimes I say too much, when I should rely on the Holy Spirit to guide my words and then keep my mouth shut. Third, Jesus gave the Holy Spirit time to work. A wise woman in one of my Bible studies said, "Given time, many problems will resolve themselves." Now that's not always true, but when we give the Holy Spirit space to work, often opposition goes away on its own accord, as it did here. So this requires patience on our part. How can you apply Jesus' approach to opposition in your life?
You can contact us at treasurehuntintheword@gmail.com. We'd love to hear the treasures God has given you through His Word. You can listen to other episodes on our website, which you can find in the description below. Thank you for listening, and remember, where your treasure is, there will your heart be also.